Nicholas's book is a beautiful disquisition on the history of Sri Lankan cricket. It tells the story of Sri Lanka's triumph over adversity, its underdog victory over Australia in the 1996 World Cup, and the triumph over so much more. And cricket over the last year has really demonstrated how important it is in Sri Lankan national culture, including during difficult periods. And it really allows the world to see that Sri Lankan cricket provides natural beauty, it provides triumph over adversity, and provides innovation. And watching cricket in Sri Lanka really is the best place in the world to watch cricket.
Hi, Cats TV is at the Mount Lavinia Hotel today for the book launch of An Island's 11, a book about Sri Lankan cricket by the British author Mr. Nicholas Brookes. And we're going to speak to him to find out much more about this interesting book. Hi Nicholas, can you tell us more about your book?
Yeah, absolutely. So what inspired it really was discovering there was a real dearth of literature on Sri Lankan cricket. So I went to the Lord's Library and found that most other test-playing nations had stacks and stacks of books written about them, and that Sri Lanka had very few. I grew up in the 90s, so at the time when Jayasuriya and Aravinda were really blazing a trail on the global stage, and as a kid I thought that Sri Lanka were on top of the world. And it was only when I became an adult that I realised that they'd only got test status in 1981, that they were considered one of the smaller test-playing nations, and that they had this whole history stretching back a century which really hadn't been covered and which had been quite poorly reported on. So I wanted to find out exactly what had gone on there, and the more I found, the more interested I became. And I came and visited this beautiful island and fell in love and realised that it would be quite nice to live here.
That's great, Nicholas. So can you tell us a bit about yourself? Where in England are you from?
So I'm from South London, a small place called Brookes. I grew up there to an English father. My mum's half Jamaican, so I've always had a bit of the island spirit in me.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, I love beaches, love palm trees, love swimming in the ocean. So, and I think the Caribbean spirit and the Sri Lankan spirit have some commonality. So as soon as I came here, I fell in love. I was already in love with cricket long before I started writing this book, but during the course of writing it, I discovered a deep love for the island of Sri Lanka.
Can you tell us, Nicholas, what you love about Sri Lanka, and are you currently living here?
No, so very sadly I've moved back to London and I'm only here for a short trip. What I love about Sri Lanka is everything from the weather, the beautiful sunsets, the lovely people, the wonderful food. Someone asked me what was my favourite food earlier, and I said all of it: kottu, hoppers, rice and curry. I love it all equally. And the culture, and I think above all it's the love of cricket, the great knowledge and passion for cricket that the people have, the incredible, unique cricketing traditions. No, I think the island's a very special place, there's nowhere quite like it anywhere else in the world.
So Nicholas, you're a writer, but what inspired you to write about Sri Lankan cricket?
So really it was finding out that there had been so few books on Sri Lankan cricket, and especially on the history of Sri Lankan cricket. Coming from England, where there's a huge tradition of cricket writing, I was shocked to find out that even lions like Arjuna or Murli didn't have biographies or autobiographies, and that no one had really done much writing, especially on the pre-test era. So it seemed like there was a big kind of gap there, a huge void that needed to be filled. And coming to Sri Lanka, falling in love with the country, realising there were so many wonderful stories, I wanted to do it before some of those stories disappeared forever.